Your offense has got off to a really good start in the first drives of the first and second half of the first two games. Was there any connective tissue as to why you guys have done that? I know you guys struggled a little bit in training camp.
I don't know. I don't. We kind of have plays we walk through and what we think and before the game, and then we have plays that we like that we haven't run and just kind of talk to them about it. So, we made third downs. The first one was a big third down by Alante. So I'm trying to harp on our guys on third downs, and I said it's pretty simple. And the week before, not to get off your question, but the week before, we were 0 for 3 in the fourth quarter. Last week we were 3 for 0, 3-0, and difference in points. So we've executed and made some plays. Scott made a big play in the first play of the second half, and kind of took it from there.
You talked about wanting to finish last week. I mean, was that something you really can harp as a positive thing here, guys, the way they finished that fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it all the time, and they certainly did. And but probably bigger than that was how they handled the adversity when Casey threw the pick on third down, and they responded. At that point, I think there wasn't anything like the week before where we got the pick and looked around. Those guys knew what they had to do and talked about finishing. I could hear them on the sideline, and that's what they did. So that's the real positive part is obviously these guys listen to us and kind of believe in the coaches that are coaching them.
How do you feel Casey's played through 2 games? What's sort of your eval, how he's tracking?
Who?
Casey.
Yeah, getting better. There's a lot of things, that hadn't had reps on. The interception, they did a good job. They gave us a look, and he saw the linebacker, and he did not see the other linebacker that was lying over the center. And the good thing about Case, when he comes over the sideline, when I asked him what he sees, I never saw the linebacker, and you watch the tape, that's what's happened. We hadn't given him that look, and that was a good play by their defense on that. And one of those plays that I kind of see I would like to have back, but that was kind of one of our plans that he liked that throw, and we'd given him a couple looks on it, and it just, didn't happen. And I told him that, if he keeps throwing interceptions, he might lead the team in tackles because at least he made a good tackle, and I think he showed what kind of a competitor he is.
Did you kind of take a deep breath when he goes down and make a tackle like that?
No, I'm too mad at the interception to worry about it, so. No, that's just I think all the really good quarterbacks kind of get upset with it and go and try to make the tackle.
What do you see as the difference in versus the second half in the way that you attack things? 7 points versus 31 after halftime.
Well, we didn't have the ball in the first half. We had 22 plays, and if we missed a field goal, I'm not saying that's negative, but if you have the ball 22 plays, you scored 10 points. In the second half, we had the ball, whatever it was, 42 or 41, and scored 31. So if you can score a point for every other play, then I think you're pretty good. So that was the point. We moved it and just didn't finish, and that series was the offside really hurt us. We jumped off sides on the first down, became first 15, and then we had a 3rd and 7, and we probably, after 3rd and 2, you got 2 downs to get it there. But, we just didn't have any rhythm. Probably the fewest plays I can't ever remember running that few plays. We we're sitting down the sideline, we missed the field goal. We had a good drive, and then we're saying, okay, we'll get it back. And they get ready for 2 minutes. We're talking, and we just never get the ball back. And luckily, we got it started in the second half.
Scott talked after both games about cooperation. What does that look like? What does that mean to you when you're going through calling a game?
No, we're just talking to all the coaches, what Mickey thinks, and some of the guys that way, who we got in, what we're going to do, and Coach Donnie and Coach Frost and myself, obviously, Coach Applewhite, what running back, certain things that way. So we're talking in between, talking at halftime. So talk before the game, during a week like now. Hey, these are certain plays we like. Let's see. What are you seeing on that part? So, they gave us a couple things that were a little different. I really didn't expect them to play that much drop 8 and zone. You know, I thought they've always been a really aggressive team, and that, you know, they changed that up, and we made some adjustments, you know, as we went that way. At halftime was a big thing.
And Casey praised just your willingness to be positive on Sundays, even when mistakes are made. How important do you view it to kind of keep an even keel after the game? In Nebraska, things go high and low. There's a lot of highs and lows with the fan base and with us and all that. I mean, how important do you try to make it to stay kind of even with the players and positive with the
You know, it takes time. It just takes time. This isn't a thing that you just roll out. And I kind of, I don't know, I was just thinking that I think everybody that scored a touchdown wasn't here. I mean, you talk about new faces, you talk about new coaches, you're talking about those things. So, you know, I'm trying to be the leader of the offense, and if I lose my mind, and I don't think that helps anybody. Even though you know, it's just this isn't a group that need to. You know, I don't think that they care, and they bounce back, and you know, so I don't. You know. It's just kind of like we got really good kids, and they're working hard, and you know they're not professionals. And even it was that same way, you know. I coach I've coached rookies in the NFL, and Ben and Brandon Whedon was a rookie that just came and had, you know. So and I'm learning as we go too. So it's and I've been on another side of the ball. I was at UMass and played North Carolina State when they had Phillip Rivers and played. You know, you don't have to say much in those type of games. You're going to get a great effort. So you know, I respect those guys on the other side. So that's kind of what my other thing was. Hey, they got big hearts, and you know, it's just part of the game. I think in this day and age, you just try to teach respect a little bit more to your opponent, and you know, and your teammates and everything else. And I think we took a big step this past week.
Was there a get to know you moment in the first two games where like you were reminded, yeah, this is all still pretty new?
Yeah, it's just, I said I've had a bunch of jobs. It's like that all the time. You know, it's not like, you know, it's probably lost every game I took a new job, I know. I mean, the first game when I was a head coach when I was 30, whatever, 1988, I still remember. I think we scored 14 points on offense, and we had 2 pick sixes by the same guy. I said, geez, this is pretty easy. Won the game. I've never seen that happen again. So there's a lot. So just try to stay positive and collected, and you know, keep teaching during the game, and that's the thing, all the little things. And we've had a little sessions more with the quarterback and receiver, and I think that's helped out a little bit. I probably was maybe a little off by not doing that earlier. Where they're in the same room, so we're taking some time together on what they're seeing and what we're doing. So teaching football, and I think that's helped with Coach Mick and Coach Kaz and the quarterbacks and those guys.
With an unbalanced offensive line, when you swap a tight end for a tackle, just what are the benefits of that to you? Why do you like doing it? Why have you done it at prior stops?
Not many people do it, and then it affects their blitz calls. And it makes them think. They got to have another plan for it. So, and you know, tackles usually block better than tight ends. You know, so I've never been to a place, and hopefully we'll get there. So it's just something we've done since 1988.
Through 2 games, how do you think it's gone so far in those specific
Good.
sets?
We've been all right. Yeah, we've been all right. Done some things. You know, get better at it.
I know it's tricky with Georgia Southern, Clay and the new staff there. What are your early thoughts on what they might bring on defense and sort of your test this week?
I don't know. I mean, I played Georgia Southern 4 times. You know, obviously when Paul Johnson was there, they played in the national championship and played in the second round of the playoffs down there. They have better athletes than they look on tape. And that's what I told the players. It's the same kind of thing. This is a big game for them. They've played in a bunch of big games. You know, we played in the Sun Belt. They got good athletes and guys that can run. So we told them they're going to be a little bit more twitchier, faster than you see on tape. And, you know, they have a long standing, much like Nebraska. They have a long standing. They've won their 5 or 6 national championships. And that way, and it wasn't that long ago they were pretty good at. They were winning 10, 11 games going to bowls. So, as I said, I'm glad. I'm 0-2 at Georgia Southern, so I'm glad we're here at Lincoln this week. So I'm hoping that will be an asset.
Has Anthony Grant been kind of what you were seeing throughout camp, or has he even surprised you a little bit?
Yeah, I think he's been more consistent. That just goes with really good coaching from Coach Applewhite. That, he's always shown against the times that he's popped a run, that way. But I think he's much more consistent in his reads and understanding the plays better that way. And, really had a good game last week and really had a good start to his career. And, proud of him, how far he's come.
You've obviously got some talent behind him at that position. As he continues to progress and mature and get in 23 carries last week, what do you do as a coordinator to kind of help get that talent on the field in other ways?
Well, right now he's the best running back we have, and we just kind of felt AJ. I think he took a step. Gabe had a good week. Jaquez had a good week. So you're going to need those guys, and Ramirez back and forth. So it's good to have depth. So we'll see what's. You never know what's going to shake out. One carry and the guy can be out. So it's hard to go at this level with just one guy. So try to even reps. Wouldn't probably like him to have any more carries than that, though.
In the 2 games you've been here, can you sense that things are kind of high stakes at Nebraska? I mean, this has been your first experience being here. You've had a lot of different jobs, but can you sense the tension and the whatever that's outside the program or even inside?
I'm in here and I go home. I don't read anything. I don't go anywhere. It's like I don't have time. So it's not, I don't really see any different than the other jobs. It's like it's a good place on Saturdays, and so was Heinz Field, and so was McGurk, and so was the place in the NFL. But I'm more concerned about the players than anything else. That's the biggest concern. That's the fun part, I think, at this level is the education piece. Of always about being a teacher, not just a football, but things in life and classes and people that way, and how to carry yourself. So this is a good place as any as I've been to teach those things. Good. Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you.